What's up, people? Perry here with another episode of Stud Tech, and of course we are here on the Stud Tech server. I've been doing a bit of work lately, and I've been getting some things ready to go because we are getting ready to design our kind of the surroundings for the warp core using the Gothic theme. I think it's going to come together quite nicely. I've been working out some plans. You can see that right down there. We're going to start building, and we're going to focus exclusively on building because I do see in the comments that I do, whenever I get comments or whenever I do an episode where I talk about something other than design, I usually get people telling me, you know, Perry, I don't really watch you because of your technical skills or you just talking. I like watching you just purely for design's sake. And I hear you loud and clear, and that's what we're going to be focused on today. Don't worry, I'm not offended by any of that. In fact, I do welcome you in the comments. If you do see anything that you don't like or you would like to see more of, feel free to leave it in the comments. Of course, I'm really open to you guys just telling me what's on your mind, being honest, and that's really what it's all about on this channel. I don't really want you guys to feel that, you know, you're insulting me or anything like that. I can take it. I've been called worse things before, so it's not really an issue for me. So be free to just make your comments down there, and I usually do respond to most of the negative comments. Usually there are times where it doesn't really warrant a response wherein you're just plain old insulting, but I do understand that some people, you know, they are the way they are. But today we're just going to jump right into it. We're going to start designing our Gothic theme tower here. And the thing about Gothic is that it really plays into verticalness. Being able to design things vertically is one of the key aspects of Gothic design, and you notice them a lot in cathedrals and towers. The reason for that is that, well, it has that vertical element to it, and cathedrals and places of worship or churches, mainly in the Christian kind of denomination, tend to have churches that really reach up to the sky, and that's where that Gothic architecture really plays into it. So I think what we're going to try and do here, I have sort of like the basic outline for the Gothic architecture. The tower itself will kind of bow out at the top there, and then it just kind of mellows out down here, just goes straight down. I'm not too sure we're going to put in here. Might have to think of something to incorporate with the whole thing. I do want to keep as much of the natural structure as possible, but I've been picking away at it very slowly, and I'm kind of afraid that I might start to lose some of the naturalness of the original mountainside itself. But we won't worry about that right now. I want to be able to start designing here, and what I've done, so this is the solar array, and I've used these air balloon blocks and also these stained glass, which come from the Tinker's construct. I forgot that I had connected textures on, and this really works out quite well and might work even better for our modern house. And I think, I'm not too sure with Tinker's construct whether or not I can use the what's the one with the saw? I forgot what it's called, but microblocks. I think you can use microblocks with it, but I'm not sure. But we'll have to see that on another occasion when we do some renovations to it. I like to renovate things most of the time. I like to go back and take a look at my work and try to improve on it. But what I want to try and do right now is I'm working on this top portion of the build, and you can see the theme. I have the 3 windows already all set up. I've extended up these lava tanks just so it can fill up the view a little bit more, and we can get a good, because it was only up to where this this part is. It only went up to here, and I felt that it needed to be filled in a little bit more for the window. So what I'm trying to do here is to kind of encase this area, our solar array, in some sort of a build here. Of course, you have to leave it open because it's a solar array. You need to be able to have the sunlight come down to it. So I'm going to try and echo the same theme here with this raw marble onto here, but in a smaller version. And that will kind of give sort of like a tower feel, how it's coming up to sort of like a point at the top. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you'll soon find out. So I'm going to try and mark out where I want to be putting all these blocks right now, because I want to split it up into 3 even sections. And so that's the middle. I'm going to take you along with me and how I plan all these things. So that's the middle. I know that I want it to come out to here. So I want to divide it up into thirds. And maybe something like that. So we have 3 blocks here, block, 3 blocks, block, 3 blocks. Perfect. There you go. I love it when a plan comes together. So all we need to do now is take away that block and we'll put in a marble. Same here. And one more right there. Okay, so we have that all set aside. And then we'll just have to repeat the same element here. Now, the one concern that I have going forward is that it leaves a 3 block space in between, which means that I won't be able to put in as much detail as I will with these windows here, because they allow for that extra space so that we could put in more blocks, and more blocks means more detail, of course. So I have to plan very carefully. Of course, right now I'm just trying to get a basic outline of the whole thing, and very important, get the basic structure first before you go ahead with all the nitty-gritty and all the details and stuff like that, just because it works better for my brain when I try to go ahead and think about what I want the overall picture to be. And that's something that I learned when I was doing my fine arts training, when I went to school for fine arts. It's always good to go from the broad to the specific. And that was something that was brought to me in the comments. It's not my words, but it really holds true to what I've been doing in my fine arts training. And so I don't know how high I want it, and actually we'll just concentrate on this right now, and we can sort out the rest later. So I think I want it much higher than that, much higher. Just keep going up, maybe like that. There we go. Oop. There we go. Okay, so take a step back. That looks okay. Maybe we'll look at it from the ground. Looking at things from the ground is always a good place, because that's where most people are going to see your build. Even though I'm up in the tree, but it gives a nice, decent perspective. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. I might want to have it. No, I don't want it that much higher. No, that's good. That's good. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to round off the tops here. And there's nothing really to it. Maybe just something like that. Yeah. And that's not really something that, it doesn't, there's no rhyme or reason to it. It's just, the blocks go where they have to go in order to make things look the way that they're supposed to. So I'm not too concerned right now with the overall, with this particular design. I do want to kind of refine it later on, and especially because of the mods that we have installed on the server, it allows us to add in just that little bit more of a detail, especially with the micro blocks. That's really important, and I think that's a decent size for our windows, and that's a decent shape. The way it just kind of bows out at the top there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go away for a bit, and I'll have to rearrange everything here, add in some more blocks, and when we come back we can take a look at sort of a final product. Alright, so I'm still going along with trying to get the basic design, but I did come up with what I think will be a pretty cool idea, and I tend to do this a lot when I am building or researching a build. Often I want to try and figure out what something will look like by staring at pictures on Google. I just search for whatever I need to search for. In this case, it would be Gothic architecture, and I take a look at all the different pictures and what they look like, and try to form some sort of a basic structure outline that I would want to keep going for the rest of the build, because I do want to have a general theme that will go into the rest of this. So in looking at a lot of Gothic structures, you can tell it's very vertical, it's very up and down, but I want to kind of make it my own. And this is something you can do, that when you're trying to make your own original design, is that try to, copy a build, basically just straight out copy it, but then take a look at the structure itself and then see where you can kind of morph the visuals around a little bit, and hopefully I can show you what I'm talking about here. And that is, I'm going to try and flare out, instead of having it going up and down like this, I'm just going to have it go up and then a little bit of a flare out to maybe about here, not too far out. I don't want to have it too much of a flare, but I think it will give us a little bit something different, something that I can call my own. And I think, you know what, I think my the Oasis project in the Surviving Creatively series, I think I did that too with the Baroque theme there. I tend to flare things out. It's just, it feels like it's something that I would just do. Just something that I can kind of call my own, something that would, kind of, I don't know how to describe it exactly, but it's kind of like my thing, is just to copy something, or go along with the style of something, and then from there I can just play around with the blocks and play around with the shape of the whole thing. And let me see if I can do this properly. Give me a minute to concentrate. Nope, that's not right. Nope, that is definitely not right. What is going on, dude? Okay, let's get rid of this. But yeah, I'm just going off on a tangent here, but I don't really know how to describe how I do some of the things that I do, and that's one of the reasons why I started doing YouTube, is that I want to be able to get better at my describing skills. It's something that I have had problems with in the past. Put it that way. I've had problems with it in the past, and you know what? It's good for marriage when you're able to communicate with your wife properly. Not that we're having problems or anything, but it's a good habit to have. Now I think I want to flare it out just a little bit more. So something like that. Just taking a look at the shape right now. I don't know whether or not it speaks to me, or whether or not it's too much, too little, but that might seem like just enough. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to get my marble out and start to plan out these blocks. And then when we come back, I think we can come up with something pretty cool. Alright, so I think I have a nice basic design going, and what I'm thinking right now is to fill in the void in the middle by using some of this limestone here. Now I converted it over to the smooth limestone using the Chisel mod. It just has less of a contrast with all the details inside the limestone, so it gives it a little bit more of a bland look to it, which is real nice for what I'm trying to accomplish here. I didn't want it to kind of take up too much of your attention, so I want to keep things nice and plain. But the thing about it is that it provides us with a nice contrast between the white marble, and it really pops out the marble to the forefront, and it kind of accentuates the whole build, I think. But as I was doing this, I kind of got sidetracked. I started clearing out more space here because we're going to be working on a workshop for this area. I think I'll have to clear out a little bit more and shape this mountainside a little bit better because it looks a little too man-made for my liking, so I'll have to do that. And then in this area there'll be some sort of a workshop, and we'll have to figure out some sort of a covered area to produce. And then in this area there's going to be an entryway to the rest of the home here, and that's what these dirt blocks are here for. It's kind of, I'm going to make another one of these over here. And I'm thinking for the entryway, it might be kind of cool to have a nice like atrium that you can enter in. And then as you enter in, I'm thinking that like you can see like this giant rock face as you enter. And then we'll have pathways that go around it to the rest of the build. And so I'm thinking that that's going to look pretty cool. But I did get sidetracked, so I wasn't really working on this too much. But I did notice that this right here, out of all the tanks of lava, they're all full right now, and this one for some reason not filling. I may have to fill it up manually because I do want that look of the 3 lava towers in the background there. So I don't know, I'll have to work on it, but we'll have to save it for another episode. One thing that I am concerned about right now is this right here. The look of this whole thing. That line right there, not really working for me. Kind of cuts off the rest of the build, and I don't really like it. So I'm going to have to figure something out. But like I said, that's going to be it. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave your comments down below and whatever you think. Let me know what you guys think. I really love hearing your input on anything that goes on in these episodes, of course. And don't forget to hit that like button if you so choose. And if you're new to this channel, feel free to hit that subscribe button. So that's it for me. Always remember, keep your head up, and I will see you in the next one.